Hi, welcome to EastTV's CEO interview segment with Robert Spano, Alleasing CEO. Today we're looking at the latest round of the Alleasing Equipment Demand Index. So, Robert, what can you tell us about some of the challenges we're seeing in the new financial year?
I think what we're seeing is people are starting to appreciate the working capital part of their business and understanding that the most appropriate use of capital is probably being best used for their own purposes rather than spending it on the non-core parts of the business. Unproductive assets need to be rolled over, and people are starting to appreciate that perhaps in a period of uncertainty, they're probably holding on to their assets a little bit longer, especially in the micro and the SME businesses. In corporate Australia, that issue isn't as big because corporate Australia are certainly aware of how important it is to roll over their unproductive assets. But the smaller businesses are struggling with that. We're also seeing there's a little bit of margin pressure that's occurring in the marketplace where, because the interest rates are low, margins are being squeezed and organisations are having to recalibrate their financial planning over the next 12 months.
Yeah, the cash flow concerns is always front and centre, and that working capital constraint story continues to permeate through the results. What did the latest index tell us in terms of capital expenditure intentions?
We were disappointed with those results, which means 2/3 of the marketplace are seeking to hold on to their assets and not turning over that capital expenditure. I think that there also is a lack of confidence in the marketplace that is controlling that process. People are feeling a bit uncertain. They're desperate for a little bit of reform. They're desperate to get some support. The small business incentives gave the small SME and the micro businesses a bit of a push, but I think big business is looking for another injection or a little bit more reform from the government, and they're really looking for leadership. Interestingly enough, we also started to check the government expenditure as well, and 7 in 10 government departments are not looking to increase their capital expenditure, which again is a sign of lack of confidence in the marketplace, and they're just not certain what they should be or shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, I guess that was a key takeaway, the fact that of the businesses increasing Capex, it was because they were confident in their own business. A lot of those decreasing Capex, it was a response to the market. So
that's exactly right. We found that that the service industries are going through the roof, so the places in New South Wales that are very service orientated, financial, other people who are growing. We're obviously seeing the downside of the mining business, the mining boom come to an end, or the bubble bursting, and the lack of expenditure. There was recently an article in one of the financial papers that were talking about the second-hand market of earth-moving and mining equipment is destroying the marketplace from new equipment perspective. So there is so much second-hand equipment available that's relatively brand new or has new technology. There's on the second-hand market, it's certainly affecting new sales. So those sorts of cycles affect the market. It's the knock-on industries that are supported by the mining industry that I see have been affected greatly, and therefore Queensland and Western Australia are greatly affected. We have a little bit more confidence in New South Wales and Victoria because of the service nature of the business. So we're seeing that's the biggest impact we're seeing.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting result, absolutely.
That concludes part 1 of the Alleasing CEO interview. Join us next time for part 2.